everybody. We're here today with a bunch of movie star folk, so that's exciting.
We just got to ride a big slide, so that's exciting. We weren't supposed to, but we did it.
Did you have to sign a special waiver?
No, we just jumped on.
Wow. Do your own stunts.
The security guy did not look happy, but we did it.
So we have Seth Rogen here, Craig Robinson, Evan Goldberg, so give another round of applause here.
Thank you.
So I'm sure you guys know a lot about these folks' credits, but I want to show that I read IMDb this morning. So
Perfect.
So you, sir, are in the new Arrested Development?
Yeah, I did a couple things in that.
So that's awesome. And yes?
Thank you.
And then the trifecta, to complete the trifecta of underrated TV shows, also Freaks and Geeks, Undeclared.
Yeah, I'm in all of them.
Fantastic.
I just wish I was in Veronica Mars and I could round it out. Yeah.
You could Kickstarter to get yourself into Veronica
I could get
Mars.
in there, yeah.
Cool. And then you've done a bunch of stuff. I'm skipping you for a second, Craig. My flow is mixed up. I apologize.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. We'll come back to you in about 40 minutes. Yeah. And you've done a bunch of work with Evan.
Yes.
Superbad, Knocked Up, Green Hornet.
Yes.
I tend to be around.
He's around.
He's around.
Yeah.
But also you wrote an episode of The Simpsons, which I thought was really cool.
We did write an episode of The Simpsons.
And you were doing Ali G when you were like 14 years old.
Yeah, we were in our early 20s, but we were writers for the Ali G show when it was on HBO. I think we were 22 or 23 at the time.
23, I think.
Yeah, it was a good job.
Booyaka show.
Yeah.
That's cool. Fun. Craig, you just wrapped up The Office?
Yes.
Like 119 episodes or something like that? How many?
Oh, no, it's 200. I think
200.
This finale made 200 or 201, something like that.
Wow.
I'm gonna
IMDb
send a bug
got
report.
that one wrong. Yeah.
Can't rely on them. And Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
They're making another one.
I heard that's your next thing. Is
Hot Tub 2 will start filming on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So exciting.
It must be tough to do sequels to movies where the space-time continuum is disrupted.
Well, Josh Hield wrote one, and he wrote number 2, and it's pretty cool.
It all continues
hopefully
the Hot Tub Time Machine universe. And
Exactly.
They actually make most sequels probably out of movies that mess with the space-time continuum, honestly.
That's true.
Which makes the least amount of sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It gives you a lot of flexibility.
It does.
The ability to rewrite history in a story means you can just cheat as a writer.
Exactly. You're killing Hitler in the second one, right?
That's the goal.
If you're not
that
killing
would be
Hitler,
a great plot, though. Yeah.
But I want to give you credit also because you're in the original Arrested Development, like way back in the day. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, I was a security guard.
At Gangi's house.
And I got to audition for Con Man number 2 or something like that.
Yeah, and did you get over Dr. Fimke? I don't remember that wrapped up.
Say again?
Did you get the part?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
They never called you back.
They never called me back.
Cool. Well, big movie coming out this week, June 12th.
June 12th, yes.
This is the end.
This is the end.
So go see it. Well, that's the point. That's why they're here, not just to ride the phone.
I'm mostly here to talk about Craig on Arrested Development.
So what was So Hugh, the cast is awesome. Besides the two of you, do you make a cameo in there somewhere? You in the crowd scene?
If you look, you'll see me somewhere.
Usually behind the scenes.
Lurking around in the back.
Yeah. Did you know the camera was on, or was it just like
No, yeah. Franco came up to me one day and was like, "You got to throw yourself in the background, or you're going to regret this."
Yeah.
So I did.
Hitchcock moment.
I tried to throw myself in that hellhole, but I did it with no shirt because I thought it'd be funny for the crew, and it kind of stood out as a little weird.
Yeah.
So we had to cut me. So we threw me in on another little bit.
It'd be really disappointing if the DVD version. Oh, it's beeping. What's going on?
I don't know.
It's gonna blow.
Our
Throw in the
GoPro's
crowd.
about to explode.
As much as I'm excited to be here, I'm not comfortable with this. If you guys want to use this, you can film the audience.
Thank God.
And the backstage if you'd like. It's open, and I think they can flip to it at some point.
Great.
Should use it going down a slide.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys got to wear Google Glass a moment ago.
We did wear Google Glass.
Yeah, that made this whole trip worth it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the least we can do. What did you do on Google Glass?
I thought I could watch a video, so I thought I could pull up a porno to make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do video
Doesn't
yet.
do that yet.
I'm sure they're working on it.
I honestly thought we were coming to you porn today.
Yeah.
This was all a horrible misunderstanding.
This is San Bruno. That's like somewhere in the valley.
Exactly. That's in Chatsworth, I think.
Yeah. So this is the end of a bit of a departure for you guys, in that it's like a religious parable.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very moralistic tale.
Yeah, it's a moral tale.
Yeah.
I think, we are always interested in that kind of stuff. I think inherently it's interesting, to us as people who kind of weren't raised to believe that one day the devil's going to destroy Earth, to learn that a lot of people we know were raised to think that was going to happen. So it was just always something that kind of fascinated us, I think. And we one day just sat down and thought, like, what if they're right? How would that go? We'd be fucked. That's the first thing I could tell you. And then, and so that's kind of where that idea came from a little bit.
And is it a coincidence that it's in Los Angeles? Do you think that will be the epicenter of the apocalypse?
That or Vegas.
Yeah, that or Vegas.
Yeah.
Or Chatsworth.
Chatsworth.
Yeah.
Just California. Southern California.
Yeah.
Craig, how did they pitch this movie to you? I mean, I figured these guys are bouncing around. It started as a short film. I want to talk about that in a second. But, at what point did they come to you, and how formulated was the idea? And how on board? Did you get points on the back end? Did you have to edit down the script yourself? How did that work out? What was your...
No points.
I'm trying to speak Hollywood. I'm doing.
Yeah, that was good jargon. I like that.
I'm better with HTML.
The guys, they just approached me and said, "This is what we're doing. It's crazy." And then they were, explaining it to me, and we're gonna play ourselves. And I was just on board because it had been a while since I worked with them, and I know we do good stuff together.
Cool. I agree. The movie's fun. And a religious parable.
Parable.
I got the talking points from Tony. They wanted me to keep repeating that.
Yeah, I'm sure that was high on their list. Make sure you emphasize the religious aspect.
yeah. Just really emphasize that.
Kids love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaks to YouTube's audience.
So I listened to the Nerdist podcast you guys did. Nice. And I'm glad that the car ride here was longer than the part where it took you to get to the annoying questions you always get from every press type of interview.
Oh, really? I can't even remember saying that. Why, did you have some of those questions?
I'd say, mostly it was because you said that for Guilt Trip, people just wanted to know, another film you guys did.
Yeah.
People just wanted to ask you about Barbara Streisand. What's Babs like?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole entire half of a sheet.
She's great. Let's see.
Okay. I wanted to ask, just take it to Guilt Trip seriously for 1 second, because I watched it on the plane. I just got back from Chicago, and
Really?
I woke up from a nap, and it was playing on the plane.
Nice.
This is really 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I know in a movie where you have a romantic partner, it could potentially get a girlfriend, boyfriend jealous, right?
Yeah.
Would that, having Barbara Streisand play your mom, did that make your mom jealous at all?
I think it made my mom psyched. She was getting portrayed by who all Jewish women consider to be the holy grail of people to portraying them. It'd be like if Brad Pitt played me in a movie. It would be incredibly exciting. So, after being around Barbara Streisand, you realize every Jewish woman models themselves after her. She's like the monkey in Outbreak that starts the virus. If they ever want to, cure Jewish neuroses, she has it in her DNA somewhere, because she's the cause of it, I think, in a lot of ways.
Be a headline.
Yeah, exactly.
Seth Rogen compares Barbara Streisand
to Outbreak Monkey.
Yeah. And the subline is and cures Jewish.
Yeah, and cure Jewish neuroses. That'll be good though.
Yeah. +1, -1. So this film is really interesting. I mean, the conceit is hilarious. You guys probably know. You just saw the trailer. The apocalypse. There's a house party at James Franco's house. There's a lot of fancy Hollywood folks. Some of them are topless. Some of them aren't. Some of them made the cut. Some of them didn't.
Yeah.
And the apocalypse happens.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a bromance in there somewhere as well, and a group dynamic that is explored. But one thing that's really fun is the meta level of so many people playing themselves. And sometimes they play against type, and sometimes they play against, with type.
Yeah.
What you'd expect. Unpack that a little bit. What's funny about people, commenting on their personas, either in the affirmative or negative?
I mean, everything's funny about it. They just, the actors really went crazy with it. They were so excited, as Craig said earlier, just to do this weird thing where instead of performing and then having everyone comment, they did them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Another thing they did was they took what we truly wear, every day, and made that our wardrobe.
Yeah.
So it's if you
take your panties off shirt that you had on. Was
they saw me with that shirt on at a party.
Yeah.
And they were like, Craig, we want to use that. And that's, so
And the towel, he always has a towel.
I always have a
over his
towel because
shoulder.
I'm either sweating or about to sweat. So
It's a good place to be in.
Yeah.
So yeah, they wanted that much, reality. So that part of our characters is real. Like when I did the "Take Your Panties Off" song, that's real. That's from and playing the piano stuff from my act, and then there's other things that were just heightened versions, a movie version where like.
You wouldn't let Aziz die.
I wouldn't let Aziz die. That I would at least reached out for real, or stuff like that. So it was,
You think, like in a moment,
You don't know, yeah.
I mean, but that was really callous to it.
Yeah.
It's too late for you. You already
you
in the
established
hole.
rule set that
You would have
you could-
pretended that maybe
Yeah.
you would have tried.
Yeah. No. But,
Yeah, I mean, we've always been fans of I think Seinfeld is honestly one of the first things I noticed doing. My parents were big fans of the Gary Shandling show.
Yeah,
which
amazing
was,
show.
Yeah, which was
Yeah,
amazing
that's
and really
awesome. And Judd
kind of
Apatow connection there.
Yeah, but the original, Larry Sanders Show did
Yeah.
it, but before
right,
that,
right.
the Gary Shandling Show really was like a dissected sitcom. Like he was aware of the fact that he was on a sitcom.
Go into the audience, talk
in
to
the
the
sitcom. He
audience.
would talk to the audience. And I remember, I mean, I was a little kid when that show was on, but even at that time, I remember thinking oh wow, this is really original and different than Who's the Boss and the other stuff that was on television. So I think we were always just big fans of that type of kind of slight breaking of the fourth wall type of comedy, Charlie Kaufman has done it
of
very
course,
well,
yeah.
I think. We just made it stupider. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I did. So, to go a meta level deeper,
Yeah.
in Hollywood, so I wonder this about in the software executive world, like when someone goes on stage at a big conference, do they have a style consultant that tells them to wear a black turtleneck? Or I mean, I wonder because it's it's appealing, and I wonder do you guys have? Is there an agent or a best friend or a girlfriend or something that tells you you should really work this angle? People like the obviously you're not really stoners, so the fake
Exactly.
stoner aspect.
It's all manufactured for.
Yeah.
No, the reason we always look so shitty is we have each other. It's do I look good? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Do I look
yeah,
good?
yeah.
You look fucking great.
That's the problem.
yeah.
We're our own terrible sounding boards.
No, before
Love
we
echo
came
chamber.
up here, my wife was you better ask the publicist if you look good. Yeah. You're not going to be able to pull it off on your own.
Yeah, it's true.
They always tell, I didn't follow the rule, but you're not supposed to wear stripes and checks and stuff on
No,
camera.
you look good,
'cause-
man. I think
Thank
you look good.
Well, but then again, I'm not sure if that
He's
was
wearing checks too. Yeah, you don't know. It's
Yeah.
the blind leading the blind
Yeah,
up
exactly.
here. I don't know.
It's like a moire pattern when it's on screen.
Exactly. It mores. You don't want to more.
You don't want a moire. But so you don't have a serious conversation with your agent that's you should work this angle. That's big, where it goes over well with the.
Not really. I mean, hopefully the movies we've done just content. We really try to make the movies appealing en masse to the audiences. So ideally you can just talk about the movie for what it is and that will do the manipulation for you,
Right.
You don't have to play up any certain angle. If you do,
Yeah.
it means your movie probably is not great,
Yeah,
So
if we worked up the pot angle, we would just be Cheech and Chong then.
yeah, exactly. I think we just try to represent the stuff for what it is and represent ourselves for how we are as smart or dumb a strategy as that may
The
be.
only thing we kind of play off of is wherever we are is what we do. So we wrote Superbad when we were not getting laid in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we're thinking of doing a movie where people get engaged because we both just got married. We like to do things that are
Yeah, and
kinda
this is
things
about
we relate to at the time.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing we try to do.
So if you did a movie about coming to YouTube, getting interviewed, maybe I could make that Hollywood
You
transition.
would.
Right. Okay. No laughs.
Who would play you?
I don't know.
It's not you.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah,
maybe?
exactly. Juliette Lewis. I was going to say Hope Davis.
Yeah.
I think.
You got a big laugh there.
That works. Craig, you were being. Craig, you were being. She's great in American
Davis?
Splendor. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
terrific.
she's great. Yeah.
I'd be so proud. Craig, you're being quiet. It makes me think that maybe you do have these conversations. Just go a little deeper.
Do
here.
you?
What is it? What is the
I've-
Craig Robinson persona?
I've had stylists and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely.
This doesn't just happen.
No,
This
that's,
is, this is thought out. I would usually have on White Socks, but bam. Yeah. So
Also, just your hair alone gets you into a whole world of
It's a very
it
calculated.
opens a lot
Yeah.
of doors. This afro.
I mentioned earlier the movie started as a short film in I think 2007.
Yeah.
Thank you, I am too.
Yeah.
Got something right. Was that at that point were you thinking just kind of like an idea that spawned that would be really fun to do? Was there larger ambitions there? Just walk me through that.
That was a student film project.
Yeah, our buddy went to USC Film School, and we made it for one of his projects, and then we put it on YouTube actually, and it got a lot of attention.
It got like 180,000 hits.
Very fast, and so we. It's funny because it was actually like right when Knocked Up was coming out. Like we didn't know, that people would in any way be interested in what we were doing necessarily. So it was kind of pleasant surprise that we just put this thing out there, and without even expecting it, it got like quite a bit of attention, and that's when we started to think like, oh, people actually kind of like this idea.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something worth kind of revisiting about it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then it kind of seems like you guys get to do a movie with a lot of your friends, people you know. It seems like a lot of fun, but it's also like a lot of work. Like what I'm kind of curious about. I know you hate this question, so I'm not going to ask that question. Like, what's it like to work with your friends? But what's the other side? Like, what's the hard stuff about it? Like, where does it get stressful? Like, where is there like do you feel like this? For example, I'm going to have a leading question here. Do you think the studio looks at you and say, hey, we gave you all this money, you're just screwing around? Like, you better make this work? Or is it more like pretty chill?
We specifically have worked a situation with the studio where we're like, how much money will it be for you just to never talk to us?
Yeah, basically.
And the answer we hoped would be 45 million. Turned out it was 31 million.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
But that was enough. And honestly, like that's what we really strive for more than anything is like, autonomy.
Yeah,
I
just
guess.
freedom.
Like,
Because with our comedy, if you don't go past too far, then you're not going to have gone far enough.
Yeah.
And if they have restraints on us, they want certain things, it'll just mess up our
and if it's not
style.
really risky, like I think the movies we've had the most success with are the ones where like as we're making them the whole time we're like, this could just spectacularly go wrong. Like we literally conceptually might have done something that people just don't like. So that actually makes it more fun because you feel like you're really taking a big swing and it's a big gamble. The studio knows, how hard it is to do that. They make a lot of movies that, sometimes aren't as funny as they hope they would be. So I think they appreciate when people actually are able to make an audience laugh a lot. And they put a lot in that, and they don't often pretend they know how to do that better than we do, which is nice.
I forgot to introduce myself, but it's related to this point.
Yes.
I'm Ryan Germick. I lead the Google Doodle team. That's what I do usually.
Yes.
And so I'm usually not at YouTube.
Oh, yeah, Google.
Hope Davis leads
Now
the
we'll
Google
listen
Doodle
to
team.
you. What is Hope Davis doing that? Yeah.
And we have a similar philosophy where if you're not breaking something, you're probably not trying hard enough.
Yeah, definitely. It needs to be. It needs to be almost the terrible idea in order to be a really good idea.
I'll say that
These guys, they mix these genres, so they're becoming this like Pineapple Express mixed, stoner with this action, bloody stuff, and then this one is apocalyptic with comedy with supernatural things going on. They're carving out this niche. It's pretty special.
I agree.
Thank you, Craig.
It looks like a $45 million movie.
Yeah, nice. Looks like we got what we wanted.
This is also a foray into directing for you, which is unusual, right, Seth? Like
We've never directed anything before.
Yeah.
Literally.
So how is that? How does that process different from usually? You're very involved as a writer, producer.
Yeah.
But director is kind of another step. So what's up with that?
It's a lot of fun, honestly. It's producing. We keep saying it's directors are going to hate us. Producing a movie is a lot harder than directing a movie.
Like 10 times harder.
Yeah, like getting people to give you $31 million is way harder than spending $31 million. Like, it's fun to spend $31 million. It takes years to convince people to give you that money.
Yeah, and as the writer, you're always answering to people. As the producer, you're always answering to people. As the director, everyone answers to you.
Yeah,
and you just get to have the fun.
It's true. Like, it was kind of a revelation. We were like, oh, wow, this is like way more fun than the other jobs we've been doing. It was great. And in some ways, it was less stressful than not directing the movie. Because as the producer, we didn't have to worry about what stupid shit the director might do.
Yeah.
Because we were the ones doing the stupid shit.
Craig, how'd they do with directors?
It was, they were great. It was like being in a basement with your friends and somebody's like, I got a camera, and then let's do some funny stuff.
Did you realize they were making a film at the time?
I was like, oh, wait a minute, is this a set? But it was a lot of fun, and they took liberties. Like there was a drug sequence in the film, and this didn't make the film, but we recreated a Spider-Man kind of thing where Franco was the goblin,
Yeah.
and he was on a skateboard.
And we like got his mask and
Yeah.
shit.
And Seth was pushing him around, and he was goblining at McBride was Spider-Man, and I was behind him. I was Mary Jane, and and so yeah, we did these things that
Craig was in a wig.
a blonde
With
wig
lipstick on.
and red lipstick, and
Screaming, "Help me, Spider-Man! Save me!"
So the cast
yeah,
is
that happened.
yeah,
Fun
that's.
to direct.
Do you think they'll give you how many millions can you get to just put that out directly as an entire feature film?
I don't know. I think
Depends
we gotta
how
get
cool Marvel
Marvel's
is.
permission
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
They're pretty easygoing, I hear.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear they're cool with
Yeah.
ecstasy use and
Yeah,
their
okay.
characters. Yeah.
So, amazing cast to mention. You guys, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill, Emma Watson, James Franco, Michael Cera, Aziz Ansari, like a million, Brianna. There's like a million funny, interesting people. Like, was who surprised you the most on the set? Like, as far as how far they were willing to go with like lampooning themselves, or or how any diva moments.
That's a spoiler alert, that one, isn't it?
I mean,
Well, yeah. So without the spoiler,
we
there's-
generally
Michael
like to say
Cera.
Michael
Without
Cera.
there's some cameos in the movie that actually aren't revealed in any capacity.
Yeah.
I think that people will be shocked to see, and we'd like to keep it that way. But Michael Cera, everyone knows he's in the movie, and what he did was like unbelievable. He plays like a coked out sexual deviant, which the real Michael Cera hasn't been for years.
Yeah.
So
I think he might still be a virgin.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty amazing to see him do that, because it was actually like scary at times. Like,
Yeah, like-
like it got dark at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy when you have like 16 incredible actors all watching him going, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, everyone's
this
just like,
guy
I can't
is
believe he's
going
doing
for it."
this. Yeah, it was pretty unbelievable.
He got a lot of standing ovations from the
yeah.
crew.
Yeah.
They don't give out Oscars for that type of performance, but they should consider it.
So it got dark. So is that stuff that went off script? Did you guys do a lot of improv on the set? Like, how do you manage that versus, as a director and writer, you probably have some feeling of preciousness about what you wrote.
Nope.
What do you-
We create the structure. Like literally, if Craig figured out a better ending while we were filming it, we would have done that.
Yeah.
we just-
Franco kind of came up with the end for his character. We actually had another thing, and like it
Yeah.
was something he pitched, and we're like, yeah, we could do that. I mean, we really.
We can't deny that all these guys, some of them are better at our jobs than we are in
Yeah.
certain capacities. Like Franco's directed way more stuff than we ever had at that point, and
Yeah.
so we let them come in and do what they can. And in the end, we think this one was about 50-50.
Yeah, but the best idea wins.
There's a lot of playfulness too.
Yeah.
There's a structure. You got the script there and the set, and then you just you got to hit these beats, so you start to play around it, and then but every scene we got to play in there, and it's always the in the moment stuff usually wins.
How do you plan for play? I mean, you're on a tight schedule, right? You got so much money, you got so much time. I mean, you kind of estimate this shot's going to take, this long to shoot.
Yeah.
But then do you put in like a X amount of buffer to say we're going to screw around a little bit too?
Our first AD, Jonathan Watson, might be the greatest AD to like ever live, and he just assessed how we worked and figured
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, he's worked with us before. He did Eastbound and Down also, which they do a lot of improv on. So he really just, and he would ask us sometimes, and sometimes we would tell him, we'd be like, this scene we know we're gonna really go off on. And and I think he was actually really great at just kind of gauging on his own by who was in the scenes and how many of us were in them, as to how long we needed to shoot. And we finished right on schedule.
Yeah,
So
but every
really good.
Blue Moon, like the Milky Way food scene,
Yeah.
we did it, and then we came up with this thing where Jonah had the gun, and so we had to go back and redo all the coverage of Seth because we didn't know the gun thing then because we hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
So that happened a few times, and when that happens, you can get fucked over because
Yeah.
you have like a very small amount of time in the day, and you have to spend an extra 45 minutes catching things because one person just said one thing and it sent the whole thing in the
Sometimes
other
it's so
direction.
funny, you're just like, oh, we
Yeah.
got to go back and cover it on the other guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Jonah Hill was really amazing. He did an awesome job in this movie.
Yeah, it's a super bizarre performance.
Yeah,
He was
a
like
long guy.
so. He played like he was one of the only people who played like super nice.
Super
against
nice,
the
yeah.
character.
That was his idea, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like it kind of speaks to how he developed the characters with the guys. Like at first, we kind of knew where we wanted his story to end, which I won't ruin, but it's pretty
It's a dark, very
ridiculous.
dark place.
Yeah, it ends in a pretty dark way. So. we kind of worked backwards from there. And at first we wrote his character as being kind of like an aggressive asshole. And it was actually his idea. It was like, I think it's more interesting if I'm one of those guys who acts super nice and you can't really tell if I'm an asshole or not. And kind of some people think I am and some people think I'm not. And it just turned into this really bizarre performance. And he wears this giant diamond earring, which is so strange.
And there's literally like, he was just like, I would like to wear a giant diamond earring.
We almost talked him into actually piercing his ear, which would have been hilarious.
We lost a lot of time with that thing.
It's true. It kept
off.
falling off. We're like, oh, just pierce it, dude. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, the actors really seem to take some kind of like masochistic joy in making themselves look terrible.
Yeah, Jay said to me in the middle of it, he was just like, this is crazy. He's like, I'm at work, I'm getting a paycheck, and I'm having free therapy.
Yeah, it sounds like therapy. Yeah, because you have like actors like, Daniel Day-Lewis like transform, but this is like an inward.
Exactly. That's the real hard place to look.
Exactly.
I think
In it yourself.
Michael Cera was Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, I think so. I saw, yeah. So there's definitely a running theme of bromance in your guys' work. I mean, to use the phrase, or just sort of male camaraderie.
I'd much prefer if the world took male camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be
Sick
better.
of the bromance, sick of that.
Yeah.
So is that, you mentioned earlier, you guys are writing and making movies that are kind of like where you're at. I mean, is that something you think you'll continue to work at, or like what's interesting about male camaraderie to you in a narrative sense?
For one thing, it just seems to be something that, like, I mean, until more recently, not a lot of movies were about that as much. Almost every comedy had like some sort of romantic story in it.
Yeah, it was like you had, like, studios were like, and the woman
Yeah,
character,
like
who's
even
the
like,
love interest,
like
always.
Ghostbusters. I mean, all of them. They're just like it's kind of like, and then there's this romantic story,
Yeah.
and.
Though it was pretty cool when Sigourney Weaver is like
No, it's
floating on the
great, and
sheets.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
Yeah.
just saying
That's
like,
literally probably our favorite
yeah,
movie.
like, it's probably our favorite movie, but
Yeah.
it just became such a convention that it almost started to feel obligatory whether or not it was organic to the story you were trying to tell or not. And often we just found that like our movies, what we were tending to write about, what we were experiencing was these kind of relationships that we were having with other guys, not with women. And again, like there's just so many romantic comedies out there that like, I think we also just feel like we maybe didn't have a lot to offer that genre, but
Yeah, like during the earlier years of our lives,
Yeah.
like we dated girls and they moved on, but our friends did not.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're married, so who knows? Maybe we'll write some hilarious marriage comedies. But
Yeah.
like until now, we've been a bunch of guys with girls who come and go in our
Yeah.
lives, but the guys stay the same.
yeah, and that seems to be where like the real stories in our lives kind of have felt like they've come from.
I also think that women in general can work with really, really handsome men whenever they want, and we're just not.
They just don't want to work.
They don't want to like stand around these three guys all day when you can be with Ben Affleck.
Exactly.
It's like, Natalie, I've got this story idea for you.
Just aesthetically, there's better places to be.
Craig, what kind of movies would you like to see that are out there?
What kind of movies would I like to see?
Yeah. These guys mentioned that they saw the male camaraderie dearth in Hollywood, and they're filling that role.
Well, you're big into dragon movies.
I was in a dragon movie.
Craig's in a Korean movie called Dragon Wars that everyone should check out.
It's dope.
I like all that stuff, man. I like gangster comedies. Yeah, gangster comedy. That would be
Want to make
fun.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
do it.
Boys in the Hood, but funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, another genre twist.
There you
Don't
go.
be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That was a great movie.
That was very funny.
Wayne's Brothers.
So at YouTube, I have to ask. I know you guys have had amazing. You guys are just amazing. It's an honor to be with you guys. You have amazing success. Doing your thing. It's really cool.
Thank you.
At YouTube, I'm wondering, like, even though you found this huge success in like the Hollywood system, like, what do you think, like, new media has to offer? Distribution on the internet, that kind of thing. Do you look at that as a place for possibility? Do you think it's like, are you worried about the kids coming up? They're going to take your jobs, or what's the story? With that?
Yeah. It's interesting, honestly.
We're learning.
We're learning about it. Like we honestly are a little older than I think a lot of the people who are kind of on the forefront of this stuff are. And so, but it is. I mean, I do like the kind of Darwinistic / kind of democratic nature of YouTube. How anyone can put anything out there, and just what people like is the stuff that people will watch.
We're from a socialist country.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We
We
like
like that. Yeah, as Canadians, we
Yeah.
approve of that mentality. So, But honestly, like it is just something that we're like we have friends that are a lot better at it than we are. Honestly, like we know like the Lonely Island guys are like brilliant with this stuff, and like Sarah Silverman's really great with it. So honestly, like we're not by any means like the guys who are using this to the best of its potential.
But we do understand like the potential's massive.
Yeah.
It is the future, and if we don't figure it out, we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we came here today, and to ride the slide mostly. But that's the other reason.
It's amazing. It's launching careers and all of that, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've hired
levels
people
the playing field
off YouTube, basically. Like Bo Burnham, like we first saw his stuff on YouTube. Like there's a lot of guys who, we saw Gerard Carmichael. I think we first were shown his stand-up on YouTube. I mean, it's just a way that people just, hey, check this out. And we've literally like put these people in movies and stuff like that based on it. So for us, it's helpful just as people who are looking for funny people to exploit.
Yeah, this movie, this is the end, would not have happened if it wasn't for YouTube, because we made the short. It wasn't quite good enough. It was about 8 minutes long. So Jason Stone, who directed the short, reduced it to a 1.5-minute trailer.
Yeah.
And we would, every now and then, someone would be like, oh, I watched that. And it would remind us of the movie, and it kept it in the forefronts of our minds. And if it wasn't for that, it would have just been a short, move on. We would have never thought of it again, probably.
Yeah. So there's a mic in the center of the room. There's a lot of YouTube folks here that might have some insightful questions and comments. If you guys want to line up, we'll keep jabbering, but if you have questions.
Could be about anything,
Come
guys.
on, YouTubers.
About our clothes or our meal preferences for the afternoon.
So, and while that's happening, if it happens, there's crickets back out there.
No one?
Yeah.
Someone will start and then slowly
There you
more.
go.
Yeah!
There you go.
Yeah!
We've seen how it goes.
You can ask 2 questions, anything you
This
want.
guy gets a bonus question.
Okay, I have 2 questions, and they're both for Craig.
Nice.
Nice, go Craig.
Craig, how long have you been playing piano? And and follow up, do you have any tips on how to get sexy?
Playing piano since my mother plays. It's in my blood. It's in all her children's blood.
Was she a piano teacher?
She taught piano. She taught choir, and I followed her footsteps for a while. I was a music teacher in Chicago, but yeah, since I was in the womb, I swear, man, I've been playing since I can remember.
It's weird to go from the womb to your mother's womb to getting sexy, but I think it's a transition you're about to make.
From that.
Have you ever done?
It's not weird. Watch.
Have you ever done a family act? Has the family ever performed together? You're all musical.
At church. We would perform together. Cool. So yeah, that was that. Yeah. As far as getting sexy,
All right, let's go for it.
be yourself, man. Be yourself. Own all that you are. Own it. Be confident in it, and be like, yeah, this is what's up. But you ain't got to be like arrogant about it either. But just
Keep a sweat towel handy.
yeah, keep a sweat towel. Always, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta say, you're just starting to sweat.
Yeah.
You
There
lasted a long time.
Filled out really well.
Yeah.
You should have seen me on the slide.
I was wondering what all of your special foods are.
Our special foods.
Like your happy place foods?
Your happy place food, yeah.
Mine's a drink, Blue Powerade.
He does love Mountain Berry Blast.
Mountain Berry Blast. It's kind of salty and it's sweet. And after a night of drinking, there's nothing better than a Blue Powerade. If you haven't tried it, try it.
It tastes exactly how real mountain berries taste.
Once they're blasted.
Once they're blasted,
Yeah.
Every morning I take orange juice and I mix all these superfoods in there and like do a little superfood smoothie. That's my most consistent thing I like to drink that I probably wouldn't have drank 5 years ago, but now I'm all about them.
Because you're mature with your food.
I'm maturing.
I like cheeseburgers. I eat those a lot.
They are delicious.
They're super good.
Herb's Burger. If you ever go to LA, go to Herb's Burgers.
Herb's Burgers.
Have a Mountain Berry Blast. Have a great time.
And a smoothie.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm an intern here, and I was just wondering what your first jobs were.
Seth and I, for $10 for 2 hours plus a large pizza, flyered for Domino's.
We did.
Wow. Is that
And we
legal?
would take the flyers, put them on the cars around the Domino's, then throw them in a dumpster, go hang out in an alley and read comic books, then eat our pizza and take our $10.
Yeah. I did that a couple times.
Oh, and we spun the signs sometimes.
I never did that. You and Fogel did that.
Wow.
We were harder workers than you.
I wrote jokes for a moil, who is the guy that does circumcisions in the Jewish community. I did stand-up when I was in high school, and a moil saw me perform, and he came to me after, and he was like, I want my moil service to be funnier. Could you write me some jokes? And he paid me like pretty well.
Do you remember any of the jokes?
They were all like bad puns.
Do you remember any?
Yeah. We'll give you a minute. You can come back to it.
There were some like knife fight jokes. Survived a knife fight.
How would you feel? If you found out that Seth Rogen had written some of your circumcision jokes?
Moil jokes? Yeah, that would be exciting, I think.
I'm sure the Moil's aware.
I don't know why he thought he wanted people like laughing and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want people steady.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly. No one fucking breathe.
Yeah.
I was I don't even know what the title is. I worked at a law firm, and I would
Lawyer? It's called a lawyer?
I would make copies and run and get bagels. I was a gopher or whatever.
You were an intern.
Not even an intern. I was just,
Below intern is
I would
gopher?
I would just do things for people at the law firm. I remember this one lawyer. He called me Clay. He never learned my name. Thanks a lot, Clay. It was like, and I also remember I was carrying $1.5 million checks. I would go get, and I would be walking down the street like, oh my God. Better not lose that, Clay. So,
Clay, don't lose that check, Clay.
Signs all over the city looking for Clay.
Where's Clay?
thank you.
This question's for Craig. How did you get involved in the Dragon Wars movie?
Yeah, more Dragon Wars questions.
Somebody
Probably
had
like
to
90% of the people here have seen this movie.
Have you seen Dragon Wars?
Can we
That's
see
why
show
I'm
of
here.
hands?
Yeah. Actually, kind of funny story. I walked into it because I was really early or really late for a movie, something like that. I kind of walked and sat in there, and I was like, I was kind of in shock that it actually like became a movie, and I mean, it was great. It was amazing. I think it's very underrated. But I'm just kind of wondering, I didn't even, honestly, until I just looked back now, realize that you were in it.
Right.
But how did you get involved with such a random
Wait,
movie?
so you saw it for free?
More
That's
or less.
basically what you just said.
Yeah.
He's part of the
And then,
reason
like,
Dragon
bragging about
Wars
it.
wasn't the box office success
When I was in a TV show called Lucky on FX.
That's right.
And the casting director brought me over to Dragon Wars. They sent me this trailer of this crazy, these Korean war fighting and these dragons and shit. And it was like, and snakes. It was amazing. It was like, Craig gonna be in this movie? What? Yes? How? And then so she brought me to audition. I got the part, and the Korean director is a guy named Young Rae Shim. He is a big-time comedian, like legend in Korea, and he was directing now, and he spoke very little English, and only thing I really understood him say was action. So he would say that, and then, like, in the movies we do, they let the cameras roll, or they like cut, let's try it again. And you do 5, 6, who knows how many takes. This dude did 2 takes, and like I'll be like, okay, I messed it up, we'll do it again. They're like, okay, moving on. No! So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
Thanks, that's all I had to ask.
Hey guys, first off, Evan, Seth, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank
Shabbat
you.
Shalom. Craig, you too. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey man, I went to Israel for birthright, so.
So I'm just curious, in the movie, which of the characters shows the most glimpses of them being exactly like they are in real life? I really hope it's Jonah Hill.
It is Seth and Jay. They just play super, super stupid, less moral versions of themselves.
I think that cheeseburger scene is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
You bite into that.
Yeah,
Sounds
you're
really-
right. That is the most real moment. The first 10 minutes are almost like totally realistic to life.
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of anchor the movie slightly, whatever anchor there is, I think we provide. So yeah, I think me and Jay are probably the closest to our characters.
Nice, nice.
And then when I sing "Take Your Panties Off," that's real.
Some Craig Robinson.
It felt real.
Yeah.
It felt very real. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So we have a few questions from Twitter as well.
Great.
Hello, Twitter.
I assumed we were like not to mention Twitter while we were here.
They're gonna they bleep it out.
Just
It's like
symbiotic
Google
relation.
Plus questions. I love, yeah.
Gmail had us send in
Yeah. This is from. This is all capitals. I don't know how this works out.
You got to say it loud.
Well, no, their name is all capitals. They're
nice.
SRV_Junior asks, and this is for you, Seth, but I think everybody could.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie that you've been in so far? I guess it's like it's favorite. I guess qualitatively and maybe aesthetically fulfilling. I don't know.
Dragon Wars.
Dragon Wars, yeah. It's tough. I don't know. I really like Observe and Report, honestly. It's a totally insane movie. It's like, it's one of those movies. I mean, I like this movie too, honestly, but I feel weird to say.
This is the end.
I don't want to say one of my own movies that I wrote and directed. So I'll give Jody Hill some credit. Observe and Report. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Evan?
I like Pineapple Express.
Yeah. That was awesome.
It's just I can rewatch it again and again and again, and it doesn't make me bored. And most of the other movies, I'd rather blow my brains out than watch them again, because I've seen them all 5,000 times.
Yeah, I remember hearing you guys say, and you said in the podcast, you've never listened to us or watched 1 minute or 1 second of any of the press stuff that you've ever done.
No.
So do you think you'll be 80 years old? And I guess, all this stuff will probably just live on forever somewhere.
Yeah.
And going down memory lane and jogging,
Watch myself do press junkets.
Yeah. What do you want to say? What do you want to say to yourself, 50 years from now?
Nice. What do you want to say, Kriegers?
No, you first.
What am I don't know. Hang in there, pal. If you're alive, then it's a fucking miracle. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
That means you're 81, which is pretty good.
Craig, do you watch this stuff? When you do press stuff, do you ever go back and give yourself notes? A little bit.
Very little. I mean, not much nowadays. Matter of fact, no. I used to kind of see stuff, when it first started happening, and then it gets twisted. I've read some articles where it's not even how I talk, and they twisted the words all
Old
around.
English or something.
What is really going on?
Yeah.
I did not say that.
I don't use the word ye.
Yeah.
So now I don't do that. I just started watching myself on screen, so I don't do that as much.
So Seth and I have a good time every now and then. We'll go on IMDb under my name. It just says Evan Goldberg, and we directly shit talk back to people who shit talk us. We haven't done it in years, but that used to be fun. Just tackle the bad press dead on.
Yeah. Antagonize people. Yeah.
But it's just like the lowly commenters, right? You don't actually get to the actual people writing reviews. Do you ever get to?
On Twitter, I respond to actual movie critics and stuff like that.
What is it? Something called The Playlist just said something bad about our movie, so I said, you've broken our hearts, we tried really hard, and you've hurt our feelings.
Oh.
It's true. We play the emotional card.
Yeah.
Because if we're like, fuck you, asshole, you guys
just fuels
suck
the
too,
fire.
they're going to be like, well,
No,
fuck you.
we're just like, why, man? We tried so hard. I don't criticize the work you try really hard on. I support it in the hopes that it will improve one day.
This should be. I don't know if you can use Tangicon's tweet in your movie promotion, but it's sort of it's a little bit of a softball.
Yeah.
Would you consider this the Avengers of comedy? This film?
We said that all the time on set. We hope.
Yeah.
I know it won't make the same amount of money.
No.
But that shot in Avengers where they go around all of them and they're standing in a circle? We tried that. We failed because we're shittier directors.
Yeah, exactly.
But we had that same shot in our movie. We
had no robots in
We
it.
talked
No
a lot
robots.
about how in Avengers, when all of them were together, was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
And that kind of led us to try to keep all 6 of our guys together for every scene that we could.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What's your relationship? We talked a little bit about YouTube, but relationship to technology in general. You're sort of in nerd heaven right now.
Yes.
In Silicon Valley. You guys live down south, presumably.
We do.
What gets you excited about being up here? I mean, is there anything about the future technology?
You guys have dim sum that's years ahead of
Exactly.
other places.
It just makes us realize how shitty all our offices are more than anything.
Yeah, we thought we had Rock Band, and that we thought that made us cool.
I know, we're like, oh, we got an Xbox. Yeah. Twitter, they're like, we got Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah. We don't have that. Honestly, for as far as promoting the movies go, it's really interesting because we I've seen just in the years I've been making movies, like a real shift as to how, where the attention you get is, what type of, the fact where it comes from, and how to kind of communicate with the people who are doing it and how to just get the message of your movie out there. It used to be about doing press junkets where you talk to Access Hollywood and Entertainment Tonight, and now, we still do that stuff. I don't know if it's useful or not, but we do. But to me, this kind of stuff is really the type of thing that seems like it's going in the direction of where this stuff will be going more. People spend a lot more time online. It's a lot more, the regular people's opinions, I think, infiltrate the marketplace a lot more with, Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that.
Which is way less boring.
Yeah, which is kind of better in a lot of ways, because honestly, that's who we make movies for.
Yeah.
Like, often people in the film community are actually the last people that we are making these movies for.
Right.
We're making them for people who are far from that, And so it's really amazing, and it's cool just to come to these companies, and see. I mean, these are some of the biggest, most successful new young companies on the planet. So it's just neat seeing, just on a visceral level, how they work kind of on a day-to-day basis.
And it's so much. I'm addicted to the technology. I'm at, all the sites of Facebook and YouTube, and I don't even know what else is out there. So, like, a girl came to me the other day. You're not on Tumblr? And I'm like, what? I don't even know what. Why is it? Why?
You realize you have to bleep all of these out, right?
You're not on Google Plus.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's so much. But it all comes down to, the human part of you. Like, we were doing a tour, and I guess you all got the slide here, and then the sleep chair, right? Who's been in the nap chair? Come on, yeah. And then
I thought it'd be like a shame thing where no one ever uses it.
You have to book it, I think. I think you can reserve it.
But they said that.
I think the security guard kicked you out of the nap chair.
Oh, he's getting no crowd now. Who's been in the nap chair? Who's been in the nap chair?
One guy in
now,
the back.
now the camera's on. But they were saying that y'all believe the best ideas come between sleep and being awake, like that little, that moment. So that was like really interesting to me. Like, so I'll have to start
Napping
keeping
more?
a dictaphone near my bed. Yes, I said dictaphone. You don't even know what that is.
They'll replace that with Google Chrome.
Google Chrome. What about you, Evan? What does Silicon Valley do for you? What's going on in technology that you're excited about? Or disappointed in? I mean, what could we do better?
I don't know. They kind of covered all the things that are out there right now.
Dictaphone was on the tip of
Yeah,
your tongue.
Dictaphones.
You guys seen dictaphones?
Smaller dictaphones. Smaller dictaphones.
Less intimidating dictaphone.
Yeah,
Better
dictaphone glasses.
So what's next for you guys? I mean, what do you guys you got married? So
We
that's
got
cool.
married, yeah.
How long is it going to take you to process the marriage stuff till you got a movie out there?
We both should have proposed about a year or two earlier than we did. So
We've had a long time to process this marriage stuff. We started writing a movie. Yeah, we've started kind of kicking around an idea about people getting married and engagement and that type of stuff. So yeah, there's usually like a couple year gestation period, I guess, that it takes. But yeah, we've started kicking it around.
And we just finished filming a movie that's kind of on the same point, the next step in our maturing,
I
which
play
is
a father.
He's a father with Rose Byrne as his wife, and they have a 6-month-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And Zac Efron moves in next door with his frat, and they go to war. So it's we're kind of literally bridging our generational gap ourselves through our movies.
Yeah.
Like
It's all free therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds good. Craig, what about you?
Dragon Wars 2.
Dragon Wars 2 and 3. I got a movie coming out June 7th, 5 days before this is the end. It's called Rapture Palooza. It's set 2 years into the Rapture, and
Two Rapture movies.
yes, two apocalyptic movies. 5 days.
That's a great double feature.
It is.
It's a bummer, but
And the Antichrist is taking over the world, and I play the Antichrist. Yep.
I see that.
And I fall in love with Anna Kendrick and really want to sleep with her, and then hilarity ensues.
The physicality of that leads
Yeah,
to
that's what it
questions. is.
yeah.
Where do you see the poster?
So this movie comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, like a week and a half.
So sell it. Why should people go out and rush to the theater to see this film?
I mean, it's so much less meaningful coming to us. Did you like it?
I liked it. I love the meta stuff. So like the
Yeah.
Larry Sanders stuff.
Yeah.
And you want to, we were talking earlier, like drill deeper. I mean, I want to see you talking with your agent about, we're going to make this movie about ourselves. So to see where it kind of collapses on itself.
That would be very meta. I mean, I think it's a truly original movie. I don't think I can honestly say there's no movie like it, which is, not something that you see a lot of in Hollywood, I think. And it just destroys. Like
I think it's got the most laughs per minute of any movie.
I think in a theater it plays better, honestly, than any of our other movies ever have. So
It's a big movie. There's a lot of big stuff going on.
Michael Cera.
Cera.
People got to see what this guy does. It's fucking crazy.
And so when he's impaled, at that point you can go and get popcorn because it sort of like takes a...
No, you need that app that tells you when. We should find out what moment they've deduced. There's an app that tells you when to go to the washroom.
Yeah.
It's probably in the montage where we're bored.
That when it gets all new wave for
the board montage. Yeah.
What about you, Craig? Give us your on your best picture.
I do a duet with Rihanna in the movie.
That's true.
It's true. To take your panties off.
Yes, to take your
And
panties
you do
off.
a duet with Snoop Dogg on the soundtrack.
Yes, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion.
Snoop Lion.
We did a remix to "Take Your Panties Off," and it's out now. You can, and it'll
can make love to the song
It'll
right
be on
now.
the soundtrack. Yeah, we did it pretty much for this movie.
Cool.
I don't even know how that came about. Carp, I guess.
It was our dumb idea.
It was our dumb idea.
At first, I mean, yeah. And they made it happen. And we went in the studio with Snoop Dogg. I've never been higher in my life.
Just from contact, just like...
No.
Direct participated.
Ferocious direct intake.
Yeah.
But all the legends, Snoop Lion is the legend that he is. It's true.
Yeah.
He's a very wise leader.
Yeah.
What he is.
And like a Pop Warner football coach, a well-rounded individual.
Yeah, the only time he seemed upset with me the whole time was he asked if I like to go for walks, and I said not really. He's like he's a dad, and he likes to go for walks, and every now and then he comes and gets stoned and makes an incredible song.
Cool. Well, you guys made an incredible movie.
Thank you.
Everybody should go out and see it. June 12th. This is the end, but it's like more of like a quarter period for you guys. You're gonna keep going.
This is
keep
just
going.
the
When you're
beginning.
80, you'll be making the 80-year-old.
We're not
virgin.
living
I
for
don't
that
know.
long.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, 80-year-old Craig.
Yeah. Cool. Well, again, it's a real pleasure and honor to speak with you guys. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.